Masking, it's a term you've probably heard of, but you may not know the meaning of. I want you to imagine yourself in a situation where you do not fit in. Maybe you just laugh too loud, or you're struggling to maintain eye contact with someone. The question then becomes, what do you do? Do you just continue on and ignore other people's reactions, or do you stay true to yourself and change your behaviour so that you fit in better? My name is Drew. I'm an autistic person, and in today's video I hope to shed some light on the art of masking. While almost everyone in their life has made changes to fit into a social setting, people with a disability may find it harder. The scenario I have given you earlier is one that I've been battling for my whole life. For me, up until just recently, I've had to mask my many quirks I tend to have. I personally gain a lot of comfort by tapping the floor with my leg or pacing around a room. But a lot of people find this quite odd and quite weird to watch, so I would tend to hide these by masking my many quirks. One of the things I tend to do would be keeping my legs flat when I sit, or refusing to move whenever I would have that little burst of energy and that need to move around a room. While this might not seem hard at first, over my life has become quite a challenge to do these, as it can become very uncomfortable to do this over a longer period of time.
Other forms of masking include seeming fine and not showing any signs that there is a problem, when in reality you are struggling to keep and maintain relationships. Calling in sick to avoid being placed in stressful or anxiety-inducing situations. Hiding that you feel overwhelmed by your responsibilities. This leads to feelings of shame and guilt. A need to always appear in control to avoid feeling ashamed about whether others see your struggles. Suppressing stimming behaviors like leg bouncing so you don't disturb others even though you feel uncomfortable sitting still. And mimicking or copying other people in social situations so that you will be accepted.
Now, while this doesn't seem like a big issue, what you don't realise is how uncomfortable and how discomforting it can be to wear a mask for your entire life.
Many times throughout my schooling years, I've had to attend school assemblies, and in the lead up to attending one, I would become slightly stressed and heavily unmotivated, as I knew of the challenge coming up ahead. I would try to find as many ways as possible to avoid attending the assembly, whether it be by asking my parents if I can stay home for the day, or asking my teacher how much longer until the assembly finishes, in the hopes that they will let me out early if I pester them enough. Since leaving school, I've been exposed to a lot of fun and extroverted people, and being around them, you can feel an energy exerting from them. This had piqued my interest, as I've always wanted to be seen as a funny and charismatic person. One of the things that I saw were comedians. I enjoyed seeing these people who were not afraid of how others may view them speaking and acting in ways that differed to the social norm. After seeing all of this, I realized that the thing that was holding me back was my mask, as there have been many times I've had something funny to say, but I was worried of how other people might find me for saying my jokes, or even my opinions. Only after spending some time to self-reflect, I stopped caring about how others may react to me, as at the end of the day, I wanted to be true to myself and show people who I am. I got tired of pretending I was someone I was not, so over time I started to stop hiding my quirks that I've been masking my whole life. Having the confidence to be myself and feel comfortable while not worrying about how other people may view me and my many quirks has been a big undertaking. However, I'm a much happier person today than I was when I really first started to notice I was subconsciously putting on a mask. Thinking back to what I said at the start of the video, when I put you in an awkward situation where you were worried about how other people were noticing that you were outside of the social norm, I want to know, with everything discussed so far, what do you do? Do you put on the mask?